All right, let's have some fun on the show. Our next guest is a comedian. He's a magazine editor now and maybe soon to be ordained after this latest video has really taken off. Take a look.
5 years, quite a long time. Yeah. So quite a long time. I think it's about time you pop the questions, right?
I saw this video recently and said we got to get comedian James Mullinger back on the show. Here he is helping out an engagement proposal recently for a couple of his biggest fans whose first date was at one of his shows about 5 years ago. He's a busy man these days too. He's the co-founder, editor-in-chief of this cool magazine. It's called Edit. And he's also got some real live shows again planned for the summer as New Brunswick is doing a little better with this third wave than we are in Nova Scotia at the moment. Interesting to see people in restaurants as we say good morning to James Mullinger in Rothsay, New Brunswick. How are you, my friend? Good to have you back on the show.
I'm good, thank you, Paul. It is lovely to see you, my friend.
Yes, exactly. So listen, we've got not an infinite amount of time here. Tell me about this wedding proposal idea and the video and all that good stuff. This is fun.
Well, it's wonderful. Dwayne and Jenn, they came to a show of mine for their very first date 5 years ago. And actually their second date a week later was also to one of my shows. And then each subsequent anniversary, they came to see me. And out of the blue, Jenn had written to me and said, "Can you surprise Dwayne at our fifth engagement, our fifth anniversary party?" I said, "Of course." But then he separately got in touch and asked me to be a double agent and set up this engagement. So I like the fact that the message is getting out there, which is come to a James Mullinger comedy show and you'll probably end up married.
And the video is just great. You can find it across your social media channels. And if you want to give a shout out to whoever did the video, you can certainly do that too.
Oh, well, Tyler Warren Ellis, the filmmaker that actually shot my last two stand-up specials and is the director of my TV show. And my son, Hunter William Mullinger, was the second cameraman, 10 years old, forging a career in filmmaking. Good job, Hunter.
That's great. Attaboy, Hunter. Good morning. I'm not sure what I want to talk about more. I mean, the engagement or the fact that in New Brunswick, you guys are doing so well with this virus that you go to restaurants still. I know you had the mask and everything on, but what's it been like for you right there in NB?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, I guess as we've seen for the last kind of 15 months, it's almost like Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. We kind of take it in turns. For it's 1 minute it's good one place, the next minute it's not. And I think in the day, none of us take anything for granted at any point now. And it's you just one day everything might be fine, and the next day we could be in full lockdown. So just appreciating every day as it comes and doing whatever we can to survive and entertain.
And you know what? You've been really entertaining throughout the last year. I know you did some shows in Sussex at the Drive-In Theatre last summer when it was okay to do that, and you've been busy behind the scenes too with this thing that you sent me. Thank you very much for sending me this. It's a really cool physical copy of something. Not everything is digital these days, but tell me about this. You and your wife, of course, are partners on this. Used to be Maritime Edit, now Edit. Tell me about the magazine.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a magazine that we founded 4 years ago now. Actually, this is our fourth birthday. And it was really designed to kind of showcase everything Atlantic Canada has, both for people within the region to discover things that they might not know, places that they want to go, events that are happening, but similarly share the Atlantic Canadian story with the rest of the country. It's an important point that we distribute this nationally and to subscribers globally. So really wanting people in Vancouver to see what it's really like here and how many great things there are. I mean, that cover that you just showed is a beautiful surfing spot in Oak Bay, Nova Scotia. A photograph taken by Adam Cornick, who's a British photographer who moved to the Maritimes, moved to Nova Scotia 10 years ago because, hey, it's the best quality of life in the world here. And let's face it, even when our provinces do have problems, they're still not as bad as the problems elsewhere in the world. And I mean, if you've ever tried to explain to a friend in England or New York what track and trace is, they've got no idea because they haven't even heard of the word super spreader event because their whole 15 months was one big super spreader event. So the concept of us being able to say, hey, were you in this restaurant between 9 and 10 doesn't exist there. So the fact that we live in a place where track and trace is even a thing, I think we're pretty blessed.
Well said, sir. That's a good point you make there, no doubt about that. For more on Edit, of course, there's a website, there's podcasts, you've got your own show about that now, but I want to get to what the summer is looking like for you. You've been trying to get to Nova Scotia here for, Elise and I have got tickets on our fridges for a year and a half ago, so what's up for the summer for James Mullinger?
It's a good question, and I can't wait to get back to Nova Scotia. I was supposed to be there actually today with Luke Boyd, classified, the legend. Of course, I think we're all getting used to things being postponed. I think none of us accept that something is actually happening until we're physically there. And even then, we're kind of pinching ourselves, like, am I really here? I have drive-in shows again. I have some in-person shows. So it's been quite interesting that, I'm still doing virtual shows almost daily, and I have grown to absolutely love those. There's so many interesting facets to that, like people who've never been to comedy shows before suddenly getting to enjoy it from the comfort of their own home. Of course, the benefit of being very close up. I mean, I am closer to the audience than I've actually ever been, because I can see them all laughing in their homes. They can see my facial expressions clearly. So the nuance of stand-up in some ways has benefits in the virtual world. So really, I'm doing a combination of virtual, which of course involves not being able to hear them laugh, but seeing them laugh, and in-person shows where I hear them laugh, but I can't see them because they're masked. So I'm taking what I can get, and again, back at the drive-ins this summer, doing Sussex Drive-In again, Brackley Drive-In, and just praying I can get back to Nova Scotia and do some shows all over. But as I say, I think we've all just learned to kind of appreciate the small things in life, and any chance that I get to entertain, and the virtual thing is working a dream. I mean, one of my only things that I missed moving to the Maritimes about my life in London was being able to do 3, 4, 5 shows in a night. Suddenly now, thanks to virtual gigs, I can do that. I can do shows for companies globally 5 times in one night. So that's been a real dream.
All right, well, it's been great to have you on the show this morning, James, the best dressed man in Rothsay, New Brunswick at 7:27 a.m. There's no doubt about that on a Thursday morning.
Well, thank you, Paul. If I was having breakfast with Paul Brothers, I was going to dress up. And I can't thank you and Elise enough for bringing joy into all of our homes every morning. It's wonderful to see you every day.